So أول شيء بدي أقول concerning the assignment. For the laws, I uploaded an assignment. For the food safety management course, the assignment is embedded within the different tasks that I already gave to you. I don't know if you were able to deliver any of the tasks, so I will just refresh your memory what kind of documents you should deliver. So you should deliver, first of all, the food safety policy. Okay. If you can prepare one job description, so I will upload later on a template for a job description. So you have to prepare one job description. You have to prepare the organization chart of the company. So it's like a hierarchy chart showing the different departments and the relation between the different departments. So you have also to prepare the list of QMS documents. If you remember the big matrix containing all the documents, so you have to prepare a big list for documents, and among the list you have to prepare one procedure detailed of your choice. It could be a procedure of cleaning, it could be a procedure of purchasing, up to you to choose. You have to detail as well one process, and you have to detail one you have to prepare one form. So one form, one procedure, and one process.
كل واحدة منهم separate assignment ما هيك يعني؟
صح. كل واحدة منهم separate assignments. So هلا شو هعمل أنا؟ I will upload one Word document containing the list of documents that you have to upload, and I will try to upload as well templates so you can like imitate or do like
على الكومبانيز يعني
ما رح تقدروا. I know إنه ما رح تقدروا. So I don't know if it's doable يعني to make like a video call, a Skype meeting between each other so you can start preparing. لأنه I prefer يعني not to visit each other بهالظروف. So ما بعرف how you can manage, or you can assign tasks for every single member of the group and then communicate later the commands. Up to you, okay? But if you can start working on this. هلا the deadline is not يعني by Monday ولا حتى Monday after. But let's start working on this, okay?
Okay.
Doctor, can you repeat what you just said?
I cannot hear. إيش مين عم يحكي؟ هو
كمان سلمى.
إيه.
قلتي لي كمان في floor layout.
Okay. هلا I didn't talk about the layout and the flow chart because as long as you are not able to visit the factory, you cannot trace the layout. So the layout is like mapping or scheming the layout of the factory. Where is the in, where is the out, how we have different rooms separated or different warehouses. So I think as long as you did not visit the industry, for the ones who were able already to visit, they can do this part. بس اللي ما قدروا بعد لأنه unfortunately I don't think that all of you were able to go and do the visits. So يلي ما قادر ما بيمشي الحال. هلا in parallel you can start by tracing the flow chart of the product of your choice كمان. بس إنه let's أول شيء finalize the first part and then we will talk later on about the other steps.
نحن البوليسي بعثت لك يا ايميل we should أنا أعملها turn it in ولا خلص؟
لا not email. I will create an assignment on Moodle.
Okay.
I prefer that you combine all what I asked about in one document and submit it in the assignment section. Okay. So هلا أنا اللي حأعمله I will upload one document containing the list of assignments to be done. You combine them in one Word document. يعني in one Word document, the first page will be the food safety policy. The second page, let's say the organization chart. The third page, the job description. The fourth page, the list of documents. Fifth page, one process, and then one procedure, and then one form. For the time being, we will work on this. So once you finalize this, we can go ahead with the second step, okay?
Yeah, okay.
One upload per group, صح?
One upload per group, okay. One upload per group.
فإذا نحن نحاول كل ما نخلص.
I will give you a deadline for this week. Not this Monday, maybe the Monday after, okay? The Monday after, يعني we'll be having like around 10 days to work on this. I assume that you already started يعني a certain part. So I'm giving more time لأنه it's a bit tricky to meet and to discuss. يعني حتى إذا بدكم جمعة زيادة بعرف إنه موضوع منهي.
لأنه نحن بس شغالين على البوليسي يعني من أول ما وقفنا
I know. هلا بدي أقول كمان إنه in parallel, concerning the courses with the part-timers, they will not do online lecture till now, but maybe later on they will do. But till now, they will upload lectures and assignments, okay? So whenever you will receive any kind of assignment or lecture, just put me in the picture to make sure that the Moodle is being active, because كمان they were struggling a bit with the usage of
لا
Moodle.
دكتور ميرا، أنا بعثت لنا إيميل لدكتور ميرا، هي بعثت لنا إنه هي عملت أبلود لأرتيكلز بس نحن ما وصلنا أي شيء، ورديت لها بإيميل أولت امبارح.
Okay, I think she was facing also some problems in the usage of Moodle. Yesterday, I talked to her. I showed her how to turn it on before uploading anything, so you can see it. يعني كان يمكن عندها technical problem. But no, once you receive any assignment, just let me know. I think Dr. Chantal uploaded something, no?
Dr. Chantal just uploaded a lecture and she asked for an assignment, but she didn't upload a submission tab.
She asked in the assignment, it was embedded within the lecture, يعني؟
إنه طلبت إنه نعمل assignment
بعتت
based on something
voice.
written in the lecture، وبعتت voice على الجروب اللي عاملينه معها.
Yeah, but
she didn't create.
She mentioned
أنا بعتها إياه إيميل.
She mentioned details about the assignment. لا هلا أنا I will ask her to upload an assignment. I want to tell you something. It's very important to centralize everything in Moodle. لأنه صراحة صبايا يعني we have no clue about the duration of this crisis. So maybe we will be obliged, ما بدي أخوفكم, بس maybe we'll be obliged to finalize the whole courses on Moodle. That means that later on all the doctors will be obliged to use this online platform to communicate better with the students. Maybe we'll do also some exams on this platform. So أنا بفضل to upload the assignments on Moodle as an evidence that you did the assignment rather than sending by email. So I will ask Dr. Chantal to upload a section for assignments so you can submit the assignments, okay?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay, perfect. So
دكتور عدنا ما عدنا سمعنا منه أي شيء.
دكتور عدلا كمان يعني she's not that familiar with the Moodle. She told me I can send emails. كمان قلت لها لا, we have to use Moodle. So she's working on it. يعني I'm trying to solve this issue with her also. Okay? Okay.
احنا إذا بعد بس the industry كيف بدنا نطلع organization chart والprocedure والprocesses؟ نحن بعد ما رحنا.
هلا بما انكم هيدا الشيء اللي كنت عم بقوله انه it's not easy to prepare the documents. هلا concerning هلا انتم مثلا ريهام maybe she has an idea. هلا the other they don't have any idea about the industry. هلا what you can do, there is a typical logical structure for the organization chart. So you can more or less scheme the ideal organization chart that you have in mind. هلا later on إذا قدرت تروح على الاندستري وأنا صراحة كمان هون I have that you will be able to go very soon to the industry. يعني maybe
نعمل research ونشوف templates أكثر من template.
template and the ideal form.
يعني هي صراحة the ideal scenario is to go and implement يعني on site. بس هلا نحن بظرف منه طبيعي يعني هالسنة صراحة. So اللي حنعمله إنه you implement based on templates that you can check online and based on our discussion. يعني last time I showed you more or less how we trace an organization. So basically we do have quality department, purchasing department, okay? So it depends يعني more or less you know the capacity of the industry. So sometimes مثلا you need one quality person and sometimes you need a big department. So it depends on the size تبع institution. So you can more or less scheme what you find logical, يعني the ideal scenario, okay? Okay, Salma? Okay. So last time you told me that بدي أقول لكم إنه I need to go fast. I need to finish this lecture, okay? Because Monday I want to start the ISO 22000, okay? So I will go fast. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Azza, do you have any question before starting? Because she's typing. Azza, hello, can
فيك تحكي لأنه أنت حاطة سبيكر أون.
مين؟
عزة حاطة سبيكر
لا
أوديو.
عزة listen on.
يعني في عزة فيك تحكي إذا بدك. Okay. Everyone is overlapping. Can we stick to typing only? Okay. So
أنا
once
أعمل
we
ميوت.
start the lecture, better to stick to typing. Okay.
ايه هلا we will mute the audio.
Okay, perfect. لكن we reached last time the quality management system part. So we talked last time about the importance of the managerial commitment. So we do have general requirements and we do have documentation requirements. ما تبلش please. Sabaya, if I open the lecture and I go with the slides into, you will be able to manage.
يس دكتور أنا قادرة أشوف.
لحظة. Just a moment. Okay, so the general requirements are with respect that an organization should establish, document, implement, and maintain a quality management system, and should seek all the time for a continuous improvement for a better effectiveness as required by the standard. Okay. So that means that the organization should identify the processes needed for the quality management system, should determine the sequence and the interaction of these processes, and should determine as well the criteria and methods needed to ensure. Sabaya, please, but كنت عامل mute لأنه I'm not able to hear myself. So the slides are not working. I will ask you something. If I will open my PowerPoint, okay, and you can follow on your PowerPoint, can you do this? Can you open the PDF file of the lecture? Not from here, from the icon now. Can you open the PDF? Then the slides ما عم يمشوا. صبايا عم تسمعونا؟
Yes.
Okay. So إذا فينا نفتح ال PDF of the lecture from iConnect وأنا هون بفتح ال PowerPoint and I move on. Can we do this? هلا it moves but it's moving slowly. صبايا صبايا وين رحتوا؟ صبايا can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sabaya, can you hear me? Farah, can you hear me? Sabaya, can you hear me? Rana, can you hear me? But I want to make sure if I open like this, the PowerPoint, my PowerPoint, okay? And you open the PDF, you can still hear me? Like this, you can hear me? Please احكوا قولوا لي, can you hear me? نهلة رنا ايه عم تسمعوني هيك؟
دكتور ايه عم نسمعك.
Okay, لأنه بما أنه the slides are not working, so I'm thinking about opening my PowerPoint. You open the PDF from your side, and I will continue explaining not on this PowerPoint. So أنا رح أفتح in parallel PowerPoint, و I will continue explaining. If you want to ask me anything, you can speak. So بتحكوا لأنه I cannot type. ما في أفتح اثنين in parallel. Let me check if I can do this. Okay, I can like this. Okay, so I will continue. The organization should identify the processes needed from the QMS and their application throughout the organization. The organization also, as a general requirement, they need to determine the sequence and the interaction of the processes, as well as determining methods for a better operation. So, command from the tasks of the managerial level, they need to ensure the availability of resources. When I say resources, mean HR resources and mean money resources. They need to figure out a way to measure, analyze the processes, implement actions to achieve a better planned result, and to ensure a continual improvement. So when I talk also about the organization, we need to know that among the tasks of the organization is to make sure that the product is conform. So they need to figure out ways to make the product conform to the regulation. Okay, please mute. Okay. So the processes needed for the QMS referred to above should include processes for management activities, the provision of resources, and how to realize products. So documentation requirement, documents are very important for the ISO. So we need to know that without documents, we cannot prove that we are implementing ISO, okay? So it's very important to have documents with us as a proof that we are implementing ISO. So we have different types of documentation. We'll talk later on about this documentation, and we do have records as well. So quality manual. So what you are going to prepare by the end of this course is what is called food safety manual. But the food safety manual should include a part for the quality manual, okay? So what does it include, a quality manual? It should include, first of all, the scope of the quality management system. It should include as well documents, okay? Documents, so the list of the QMS documents that we talked about. And it should include as well a description of the interaction between the different departments. So as you remember that we do have an interaction between the different departments. So this interaction is called the process approach. So to control the documents, first of all, we need to prepare the document, we need to approve the document, and we need to review and update the document. So there is one person who will take in charge preparing the document. Another one will approve at the first time the document, and after approval, all the time the document should be reviewed and updated and reapproved again, okay? Why do we update the documents? Because we need to update it on a yearly basis, because we need to make sure that it's still respecting the international requirements. إذا طلع شيء جديد لازم نحن we have to update to cope with it, okay? So controlling the documents, also we need to ensure that the changes and the current revision of documents are being identified. We should make sure that relevant versions of applicable documents are being used, okay? So, and when a document is not being used anymore, we stamp on it obsolete, okay? So what نروح نعمل audit, we can find obsolete documents. An obsolete document is a document that used to be used before, but not right now, because another updated version was being put in place and used right now, okay? So a document بنعمل له update، القديم نكتب عليه stamp obsolete، يعني we are not using anymore. So the document should be legible, easy to be understood, and easy to be implemented. And sometimes we can use documents from external origin. For example, we can use a document regulated by the Ministry of Agriculture regarding the pesticides. Okay, so this is how even the documents that are from external origin, they should be well controlled and used. Okay, so to prevent the unintended use of obsolete documents. Okay, so كتير مهم وقت الدوكيمنت ما بقى بدنا نستعمله. بليز صبايا حطوا حالكم ميوت وبس اسمعوني لانه في حدا عم يعمل بارازيت علي. So the documents that we are not going to use should be stamped with a stamp called obsolete to prevent the unintended use of it. يعني عشان ما يصير عندي two versions وبرجع اي وحده بدي استعملها. Okay. So what are the typical types of documents? First of all, the food policy is a document. The manual itself, the quality manual is a document. The plans that I'm going to establish before working are a document. The procedures are a document. The work instructions or work instructions or standard operating procedure. So it's a procedure that will show out how to operate in a standard way. It's a document, مسميها SOP. So SOP for calibration. And the SOP for calibration or standard operating procedure. مين اللي عم بخشخش كل الوقت؟ صبايا. Nahla, please can you mute yourself, Nahla? Okay. ما مش الحال نهلا.
مع انه مبينة عندي ميوت
بس عندي ما مبينة. It's okay. ما أنا I don't wanna يعني شو اسمه mute you لا بخاف بطلت تسمعيني. خلص ما مش الحال هلا. Okay, perfect. It worked. Thank you, Nahla. So talking about the different types of documents, you should know that the procedures in general we call them procedure, but once you want to implement a procedure في غير البروسيجر كيف هو it's like a guideline for the procedure مسميه standard operating procedure. So it will show us how to implement the procedure, okay, in an easy way. مسميها standard operating. So how to make it operational online. Okay. Also among the documents we do have the forms, we do have the reports, we do have the meeting minutes. Okay, and also among the forms, if we are using also among the forms. Okay, Sabaya, بس هسألكم if you can hear me. I will do a poll. Please, can you hear me? Yes or no? So now you can hear me. So again, I will do the poll. Yes or no? Now you can hear me. Safa, Andriwa? Okay, perfect. So I will go back to the PowerPoint. So I was talking about the typical types of documents. So we do have also reference manuals. So sometimes if I'm using a manual for laboratory, so it's a document also. Technical specification. So if I'm purchasing an X equipment, I purchase it with a specification. So it's also a document. And standards, يعني the Libnar standards, the Codex standards are all also considered as documents. So what about the procedure? What do you have to mention in your procedure? What is done? بالprocedure بنقول what is done? Why are we doing it? مثلا what is done? I'm doing a calibration, so it's a procedure for calibration. Why I'm doing it? To make sure that the apparatus is reliable. When it's done, when I want to do the calibration, every single morning by the end of the day, and whenever the apparatus is not working properly or I have doubt in the results. Where it is to be done, it should be done in the laboratory. How it is to be done here, I mentioned the details of the procedure. So I need to have different solutions, one for acidic pH, one for alkaline pH, and one for neutral pH. And I should make sure that that I'm doing the calibration properly. Who does it? The quality, the laboratory manager or the laboratory workers. And what if the calibration is not correct? So what do I have to do? Maybe I have to send the pH meter to another lab to make sure to fix it properly. Okay, so this is how we prepare a procedure. So whenever we want to prepare a procedure, we already talked about the templates of the procedure. So you have to mention all these details, and you have to ask yourself all these questions to prepare a procedure. Okay, so when do you need a procedure? You need a procedure when you see that it is necessary to document an activity that affects the consistent quality. So if I don't make a procedure for something irrelevant, okay? يعني, I don't make a procedure, for example, to know if the workers, they come on time or not. Maybe this can be a procedure under the HR department, but as a quality department, I do not prepare a procedure to see if the workers are coming on time or to see how do they behave, but I make a procedure about the hygienic practices of the workers. So here, you need to check for every single department. So every single department is a process, and every single process relies on many procedures. And to check the outcome of the procedure, you need to have form. يعني the process is the quality department and the lab. The procedure is the calibration, okay? And the form is the calibration form where I write, okay, how I calibrated, and I do in the morning at 8 a.m. I write 8 a.m. calibration done, and I sign. Why do I have to sign every single moment? I have to sign to show an evidence that I did the calibration. So whenever someone else will use the thermometer or the pH meter, and they have doubt if it's working properly or not, they will look back at the document to see whether in the morning the calibration was done or not. Okay, so when I need to do also a procedure if the implemented activities are changing, and to assist with training. If I want to train someone on something, okay, so let's say I'm recruiting a new lab manager. I am the quality manager, and I want to train the new lab manager on all the procedures that he's going to supervise or to conduct by himself. So I start with the set of procedure, and I tell him that, look, we have this set of procedures that need to be accomplished on a daily basis. So let's start with the calibration. Now we pass to the microbiological analysis, and then we pass, let's say, to the heavy metal analysis, and then mycotoxin analysis. So every single type of analysis should have a procedure, and then I show him at the same time the forms. And the forms means by the end of the day, what they will become records. So he will be having records for everything: a record for calibration, a record for let's say for شو what happened? Can you still hear me? Girls, can you still hear me? Because Rewa sent me a message. What happened? Yeah? Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, so procedure is an easy way to train people and keep in mind that the importance of the procedure relies on the importance of implementing the ISO and making no one what irreplaceable. Okay, so now I will ask you a question. Okay, so I will do a poll and I will ask you a question. So please listen to me. Okay, quality is a problem because A, modern processes are too complex. B, workers don't do the job. C, it's expensive to control. Or D, because all the processes, they do have variation. So again, one more time. Quality is a problem to be achieved because, okay, why quality is a problem to be achieved? Because A, modern processes are too complex. B, workers, they don't do the job. C, it's very expensive to control. And D, all processes have some variation. So Riwa and Salma, you still have to answer. Riwa and Salma. Riwa and Salma. ما تتنقلوا عن بعض. Okay, so let's publish the results, although Riwa did not answer. So 3 answered B and 6 answered D. D is the correct answer. Why? Because the main scope of implementing a quality management system, it's because we do have variation in the processes. So whenever we fix this variation and we fix the consistency, we can achieve the quality easily. So workers don't do the job. Why they don't do the job properly? Because we do have variation. But once you fix the variation, they will do the job properly. Once they are well trained on the procedures, they will do the job properly. So procedure framework, as we have checked in the class before, for every single procedure, you should put the title and the identity, the purpose of the procedure, what is the scope of this procedure, it's the responsibility of whom to implement this procedure, what about the references, what about the procedure description, the records, and who's going to review this procedure, approve it, and who's going to prepare it also, okay? So here, as you can see, so we have the documents hierarchy. So if you remember last time, I told you it's like a pyramid. On the top of the pyramid, we do have the policies, okay? So here, this is how we can see that the policy, it's a food safety policy, okay? How to implement the policy? We go in the diagram, and the pyramid, okay? To implement the policy, we need to have processes and process approach. So to have the processes and the process approach in the right way, what do we have to develop? Procedures. And to be able to implement procedures, what do we need? We need forms, and the forms, they will become records, okay? So records we do have, يعني في لكم بالمعمل ممكن يكون عندي 1000 records، ممكن يكون عندي 500 procedure، ممكن يكون عندي 50 processes، وبوليسي بدها تكون بوليسي وحده، okay? So يعني to be able to make the quality department working properly, okay? بدي يكون عندي let's say يمكن 10 procedures، بس كل procedure okay يعني مثلا أنا بprocedure purchasing شو بدي يكون عندي forms بس تعرفوا عن what I'm talking about. So procedure purchasing, okay? First of all, I need to have a document. It's a kind of an agreement or contract between me and the supplier, okay? هلا هون I'm talking about one supplier بس أنا I might have 50 suppliers. So يعني عندي 50 agreements. اوكي بس تشوفوا الريكوردز كم واحد حيكون اوكي طيب اذا انا كمان عم بحكي هون ببروسيدجر purchasing so قلنا an agreement with the supplier Number 2 certificate of analysis coming from the suppliers. وهون قد ايه عندي؟ So إذا من كل supplier I'm purchasing 10 items يعني عندي 10 COA. 10 COA for every single container. What if I'm on a monthly basis importing قد ايه حيكون عندي كمية records. يعني إذا تنين طلبت من عنده ذرة والثلاثة ذرة والأربعة ذرة كل مرة عندهم COA. So قد ايه بده يكون عندي records كتير. غير هيك بده يكون عندي receiving form for every single product. Number 4 specification for every single product. Okay, so كل هول they are forms that are going to be later on converted into records. Okay, so what is a process? So as we mentioned before, a process for an organization, a process has to identify the linked activities, and linking these activities together will form the approach. So process will convert the input into output. So كمان هيدي الصورة شفناها قبل. So the approach is the application of an interaction between the different processes together. It's very important to combine the processes. So what does it mean by combining the processes? يعني to sit together and see how these departments can help each other, how they can collaborate in a better way, and keep in mind that all of them, they are linked together. يعني let's say if I'm talking sales, production, quality, and purchasing. So purchasing, okay, should make sure, بس حقلكم كيف they are linked together. Purchasing should make sure to provide a safe and high quality product, okay. هيدي لمين؟ هيدي quality department. للproduction بده يكون البرودكت fitting the raw materials, fitting the end product. يعني productivity wise the yield is good. يعني مش يكون اليت مش good. يعني هذا linked للproduction department. Number 3 linked to the sales department لأنه إذا ما اشترى بeffective cost بده يصير يغلي على final price. So كمان بده يقعد مع sales تيشوف if this product is fulfilling all the others department. إذا عم نحكي sales, so sales he can receive complaints from the market. هاي complaints could be either complaints due to the quality or to the safety or to the quantity اللي هي issue of production. يعني إذا أنا بفتح علبة بازيلا وبلاقيها 3/4 مي وربعها بازيلا، ما هي خاصة بالبرودكشن كمان وبالكواليتي باثنين. ولا الانيشال برودكت، يعني اذا حبيت البازيلا كل وحده لونها شيء، يعني في عندنا ايشو بالبرتشيسنج هو ايشو كواليتي بس mainly linked to the defect of communication between quality and purchasing. So this is how it works. This is the integrated approach that I'm talking about. And when we say document versus records, so documentation means documents and records. So records is a document. So document, what is a document? Document by their nature are revised and updated at a certain determined frequency. It could be biannual, it could be on a yearly basis. So usually the industries on a yearly basis, they do update their documents. And a document is generally provide specific tasks, okay? However, records are historical evidence that do not change. I can update a document, I cannot update the record. I can update the initial form of the record, but I cannot update the record. يعني إذا هلا أنا الريكورد قال لي إنه كبية المي هلا اللي هي هون اوكي البي اتش تبعها 7 الكوليفورمز فيها 5 CFU per mil. هذا الريكورد شو هو الميكروبيولوجيكال اناليسيس. Can I change it? Can I update it? No. It's a historical evidence for this bottle of water. اوكي اذا انا بكره صار معي complications اوكي وبيجوا بيعملوا investigation بده يرجعوا لهالريكورد تيشوفوا هيدي المي شو كان فيها. So I cannot change a record. I cannot update a record. However, the empty template اللي اسمه form of microbiological analysis اللي هو once I filled this form شو صار record. هيدي الفورم I can update لأنه هيدي الفورم هي document. Okay, so clear the difference between documents and records. Is it clear? Do you have any question? Is it clear? So if someone has a question, may feel to interrupt me now. So فيك تفتح السبيكر وتحكي. حدا عنده شي سؤال؟ Okay, I'm just saving the attendance. Food safety 13. Yeah, first session. Okay. Okay, لكن so it's very important to understand the difference between document and records. What about the required documented procedures? So we need to have a specific procedure for documentation. يعني بده يكون عندي it's like a document for documentation. Okay? So please Sabaya again mute yourself. Okay. So I need to have a specific document to control documentation. يلي هو شو؟ I need to have a procedure اسمها control of documents. يعني how do I control my documents? A procedure on how to control my records. A procedure on how if I have any kind of emergency preparedness only with respect to the recall. A procedure of how handling unsafe products. Do I have to hold them? Do I have to put them in quarantine? Do I have to destroy them? So I need to have a procedure. So usually I say whenever a product is not conform, I need to put it in the holding area for a certain period of time where I conduct a series of tests to be able to take the adequate decision, okay? So a procedure for corrective action, a procedure on how to notify the interested parties in the event of withdrawal of recall, and a procedure for internal auditing. So you can take some of these examples to prepare later on your procedure. So required documents and records. So we have documents for everything. So we have documents to manage the prerequisites programs, هنحكي عنهم بعدين, to manage the hazard plan, the hazard analysis, the critical limit, the internal audit, the calibration, and etc. And we have also among the documents what is called internal references and what is called external references, okay? So internal reference, so typical internal references, for example, the price schedule, the contract with the supplier is an internal reference. The standard tender format, يعني إذا عندي مناقصة أنا عندي tender, okay, في عندي format للtender, هيدي internal reference. التكنيكال data sheets, يعني أنا when I purchase anything, قلت لكم I ask for a COA. Certificate of analysis is mainly contain a part of chemical analysis, microanalysis, physical analysis. But what I ask about also is a data sheet. مين بيعرف يقول لي what is the difference between a COA and a data sheet? طبايا مين في يقول لي what is the difference between the certificate of analysis and the data sheet? Hello? What is the difference?
دكتور السي او اي هي انه هيدي التشارت اللي اخذناها هذا الشخص حاطين
It's between me and the supplier, but the technical data sheet is an internal reference, يعني just for me as an in this company.
Okay, so data sheet هي the specification that you are going to prepare internally. يعني كيف الليبنور standard when you customize the Leibniz standard on your product حكينا عنها قبل انه مثلا let's say the Leibniz standard of drinking water contains 1 to 3. I want to customize it on my product. يعني أنا مثلا with respect to the sodium content, with respect to the mineral content, okay? So there's like a margin or a range of acceptable concentrations of sodium, of potassium, etc. But when I'm preparing my internal data sheet, I need to mention a value for my product. So the data sheet is an internal reference for every single product. So later on, when you choose the product that you will use to conduct your ISO, so for this product you have to prepare a detailed data sheet. So it's called data sheet or product specification. However, the certificate of analysis, شو هو? When I want to purchase X products from X supplier, I send him my data sheet and I ask him, can you deliver products conform to my data sheet? هيقول لي هو yes or no. هقول له طب can you send me previous certificate of analysis, يعني laboratory analysis of your product just to see whether they are conform or not? He will send me the COA. But the COA should be done, or the analysis should be done for every single container. مش مثلا مرات كانوا يغشوا مثلا بيبعتوا 1 COA بيعملوا مرة الاناليسيس بيبعتوا 30 container على 1 COA. لا. For every single batch, for every single shipment, he should deliver a COA. Okay? So كمان من الأشياء اللي عنا إياها internally a list of approved supplier. So it's an internal document
Doctor, I have a
that-
question.
Yeah.
The technical data sheet is for me only, يعني, isn't it like مثل private information, ولا I can share it with the supplier when I want to ask them is the product confirmed to my data sheet?
You share it with the supplier just to make sure that it is conform. What you can do if you want to make it confidential and avoid sharing it, you can ask, usually the supplier, they do have, other than COA, they do have product specifications for their products. So you can ask for a product specification and compare it. بس أقول لك شيء، يعني in Lebanon it's a bit difficult to rely on his product specification. عم بيسوى يكون كتير نقلها من الانترنت، خاصة هون with respect to the fruits and vegetables. Most of the time they don't have even product specification. يعني مش هتقولي له للخضرجي شو البرودكت سبيسيفيكيشن تبع الورق عنب، اكيد ما حيكون عنده. اوكي سو هو هون اللي كنا نحن نعمله واللي اللوجيك اللي بنعمل هو انه الكواليتي مانجر او الفود سيفتي مانجر should train the purchasing manager on the technical data sheet of the product. يعني بيجي انا بجيبه للبرتشيسنج مانجر، كنت اعمل له تريننج على مثلا داتا شيت اوف فاين ليفز. لما بدك تشتري ورق عنب انت لما تروح تشتريهم شو لازم يكونوا 1 2 3 4، وبجيب لي سامبل معه and I compare. هلا مرات اذا شركه كبيره مثلا انترناشونال، we used to send them the data sheet، لانه مرات لهم بعثوا لي اللي هي out of standard، يقولوا لي طب can you communicate your data sheet so we can work accordingly. كنا نبعثها. هلا some industries yes, some industries they keep it confidential according to the ISO. According to the ISO يعني it depends on it depends on you. You can share it or you can avoid sharing it. ما فيها مشكلة. هو in any way it does not contain the standardized recipe. يعني it's only numbers مثلا related to pH, related to the microbial load, and most of the time they are being inspired from Codex and Libnor. Okay. هلا concerning the list of the approved supplier, you should know that we cannot add on our list of approved supplier a new supplier directly. So you should build confidence with the supplier. يعني if I'm going to purchase X product from Nahla today, I cannot consider Nahla an approved supplier. Why? I should build the trust and confidence in Nahla. So I need to check the performance of Nahla. Performance with respect to what? Performance with respect to the quality that she is going to deliver, to the safety that she's going to deliver, to the prompt delivery time إذا عم تتوصل لي على الوقت البرودكت. اوكي والكوانتيتي لانه في منهم كمان مرات بغشوا بالكوانتيتي. سو كل هالاشياء اذا انا بضلني مثلا let's say بشتري من عند نهلة 5-6 مرات و she's maintaining the same performance, then I can consider Nahla as approved supplier. Why do we need to have as internal reference a list of approved supplier? Why do you think? Why it's important to have a list for approved suppliers? Why I cannot purchase from anyone?
Because to maintain هيدا شو اسمه suppliers that are of high quality so that the process becomes easier the next time you want to purchase something rather than going through the entire process of looking for a good supplier.
Exactly. And this also fits under the umbrella of consistency, which is the main scope of the ISO. And when you work with the same suppliers, شو رنا قليلة
حكينا هديك المرة انه لازم نعمل مثل ترايل، يعني بناخذ منهم يعني لازم يكون في عنا ليست ناس عاملين لهم مثل ترايل، نشوف البضاعة اللي عندهم نعمل عليها assessment، وبعدين اذا كانت approved بنحطها ضمن الابروفل supplier list.
Exactly. But what you have to know also that the list of approved supplier can be updated annually, and it can update it even not annually, ممكن biannually in case we have a shortage of X product. يعني إذا لقينا إنه في supplier مثلا كان presenting a big potential for me for X reason مثلا سكر البزنس تبعه, so I need to find a plan B. So هون when I find the plan B again, I build the trust, I take my time, and then I add this new supplier on my approved of list of supplier. So it's very important to have a list of approved supplier. So what about the external references? So external references on top of the list are Libnor standards, are Codex standards, are EU standards or FDA standards, Gulf standards, all types of standards. They could be instruction manuals. So whenever you purchase an equipment, either in the lab or even in the industry, any kind of equipment, usually بيجي معهم manual of instruction. هيدا external reference. catalogs for equipment أكيد. وإذا نحن مثل ما قلنا من شوي عم يجينا technical data sheet من أو specification من السبلاير، هاي بنعتبرها external reference لأنه it's coming from the supplier. كمان on the external reference you can add all the decisions or regulations enacted by the ministries. يعني بدي لكم في كتير أشياء ما بيكون فيها standard بس بيكون فيها قرار من وزارة. يعني مثلا with respect to the pesticides. Yes. So with respect, for example, to pesticide residues, we have many decisions coming out from the Ministry of Agriculture, not from a standard. Although we do have a standard for pesticide, بس مرات كتير بيطلع قرارات منفصلة من الوزارات. مين ما عم يقدر يسمعنا؟ Okay, document and data control. So document should be correctly identified.
I think غوا دكتور غوا I think عم تسمع حالها ما عم تسمعك.
Okay. So the documents should be very well controlled and identified. They should not be ambiguous. They should control the issue, and we do revision all the time. We need also to control the distribution of documents. يعني if X document was enacted related to pesticides, so I need to communicate this document or distribute it among which departments. بدي ابعته ل quality department، بدي ابعته لل purchasing department لأنه they are going to purchase according to the new regulation, and the purchasing department ممكن كمان يبعتوا للسبلايرز تبعولنا. So we need to know how to distribute a document لأنه if I'm preparing a new document but I'm not sending the document to the people in charge of implementation, it's nonsense. مزبوط ولا لا؟ إذا أنا عملت document for maintenance, but I did not put in the picture the maintenance department, I did not communicate the document with them, they will not implement it. I need also to control the changes. Whenever there is any change, I need also to update and to communicate back and keep approve all the time, and prompt removal of obsolete documents. So any document that becomes to be obsolete, it should be removed. So ما دغري بنكبهم. Usually الobsolete documents فينا نتركهم مثلا 6 شهور. ليه؟ لأنه sometimes for X reason بنلاحظ إنه the updated version كان فيها شيء غلط أو كان فيها شيء missing. So بنضطر نرجع للدوكيومنتس اللي قبل. هلا هون بعدهم بهالايزو كانوا they were relying on hard copies implementation of ISO. هلا lately صار مسموح نعمل soft copies implementation of ISO. So if you have يعني all the documents and instead of having a record hard copy, so you can have a record soft copies, but أكيد you have to sign on them, or you should مثلا have a certain password to be used to make sure that you did the task. So it's very important also through controlling the methods and the documents to secure the storage and access. So we should have computerized documents. Okay, we should have backup systems for all the documents. كل شيء بده يكون له backup. يعني لما كنا نعملهم hard كنا نعمل scan to keep soft. Okay, هلا في industries بدي لكم they are still working in parallel on both hard and soft. بس هلا we are moving towards computerizing all the documents لأنه حرام يعني it's a waste of resources to print everything. So when to do document the changes. So امتى بعمل update أو change? Sorry. First of all, if the existing document is incorrect, so if there is any kind of mistake or error in the document, I need to update it. If anything in the system has changed, يعني usually we tend in the document not to mention names. يعني ما بنكتب مثلا quality manager ندى، نكتب quality manager. ليه؟ راحت ندى، اجت نهلة، اجت كارلا، اجت okay. So the document will remain the same. بس وتقول change of system يعني let's say if I was saying that okay مثلا the calibration form document will be prepared by Nada as the quality inspector. It will be reviewed by Nahla as the quality manager. It will be approved by the general manager. Okay, so for X reason they decided to يعني مثلا to involve the CEO in everything. So بدنا نزيد approval من CEO. So هون if the system has changed at the company, يعني إذا في حدا زيادة صلاحيات أو حدا سحبنا منه صلاحيات، أو إذا قررنا for X reason to report directly the quality manager to the CEO مش to the general manager. So هون I need to change the document لأنه I need to change the titles. Okay, a change of activities. So إذا بنفس الدوكيمنت صار في احيانا activity to be changed. يعني اذا انا بالcalibration اوكي مثلا بالاول بالcalibration I was working only on 3 solutions. اذا فجأة طلع سيستم انه لا you need to take more points to calibrate, so I need to change it. Is if I'm using a new equipment مثلا let's say if I'm checking the degree bricks, I was using a next brand of refractometer, but still like a new brand of refractometer, new equipment, because I need to mention the detail of the refractometer, so I need to change the document. If a standard was revised, يعني if my form or my document or my procedure was linked to the microbiological analysis of drinking water, and the standard of drinking water was updated, so the load of acceptable level of bacteria was updated, so definitely I need to update my document. A contract variation, okay, يعني هون عم نحكي بالagreements with the suppliers. إذا كنت أنا بالأول قايلت له إنه if the product is fully within my specification I will accept it. If out of my specification أو not conform I will reject it. فجأة قررت إنه let's try the midway. يعني sometimes I'm in real shortage, I do have orders, I need to accept the product. It's not a safety issue, it's a quality issue. مثلا بدي بازيلا بس حبوب البازيلا عنده بكل مثلا 10 حبات في حبة صفراء. It's not acceptable for me, but I'm in shortage and I need urgently the product. So هون بقرر بالagreement بزيد له part بقول له if the product is presenting minor deviation from my specification, not affecting the safety but affecting the quality, I can accept the product except to أو condition to receive a discount of ما بعرف 20% أو 10%. So هون I'm adjusting the document of contract. Okay, design change يعني إذا أنا عم بحكي حتى label change لأنه بنعرف إنه بالdocument of technical data sheet we mention details about the label, so هون كمان I need to update the document. So the rules, the basic rules for document change, I need to identify the change, to record it, to make it traceable, to record the extent of change and to review it أكيد and approve it. So the control of records, the records must be established and maintained by the organization. They should be conform to the QMS and to the standard. The records أكيد should be legible, readily identified and retrievable. يعني I can't find the records. مش ولا بقول له do you have a record for calibration? Yes, I can have it somewhere. لا, it should be very well archived. It should be retrievable. It should be very well organized and archived. So documented procedure required to define the control needed for the identification, storage, protection, retrieval, retention time, and disposition of record. So I need to have a procedure, اسمها control of records, that will show me where do I store my records, how do I prepare my records, how do I identify them. So talking about the forms, so حكينا هون documents, حكينا records. So the forms هنا they are documents. So they are pre-printed formatted documents to record information. So قلت لكم حيلا empty template, it's a form. Once it will be filled, it will become a document. So the purchase order يعني طلبية الشراء, it's a form. لأنه بالPO بالpurchase order بقول له I want to purchase شو بعرفنا 10 spoons, okay? This specification. The job card is a form. The invoice is a form. The computer template is a form. Any checklist for cleaning toilet, it's a form. So what about records? So records, they are mainly used for traceability. أكيد, they provide evidence for traceability. Reports are records. Computer records are records. Completed forms are records. Meeting minutes are records. Okay, so quality records are simply those that affect the quality. Are they any that don't? So among the management responsibility, now I'll pass to clause number 5. We have the management commitment, customer focus, quality policy, planning, responsibility, and management review. So just I want to make sure that the system is still recording. Okay, still working. So all subsections within section 5, management responsibility, are related with the top management. So again, here we pinpoint the importance of managerial commitment. The intent of the standard is a clear commitment and involvement. It should come from the top. يعني from the managerial level. So the top management shall provide evidence of commitment to development, implementation, and improving the system. So their job does not only relies on developing and implementing, they should also work on improving. So how do they do this? First of all, they communicate the statutory and regulatory requirements. So they need to communicate with their departments, all the regulatory requirements. They establish a quality policy, including the objectives that we talked before about. They conduct management review, management meetings, and they ensure the availability of resources. When I say resources, also it includes the expertise resources. So customer focus, the top management should know that the customer is our focus. We need to satisfy our customer. It's very important to pinpoint this point. So when we talk about the policy, we already talked last time about the policy. We need to make sure that the policy is appropriate to the purpose of the organization. It complies with the requirements, effectiveness of QMS. It continues the objectives, and the policy should be communicated, understood, and reviewed for continuing suitability. So while talking about the objectives that you have to mention in your policy, the objectives, they mainly pinpoint the importance of planning the product realization, and the quality objectives should be measurable and consistent with the quality policy. So the objective should be measurable. يعني أنا لما أقول the product should be safe. Safe means free of bacteria. I can measure this. Okay, should be safe, يعني free of chemical contaminants. I can measure this. Should be consistent, يعني providing the same quality every single time. So top management should ensure that appropriate planning is carried out to meet the QMS requirement and the quality objective, and to maintain and to improve the system. Responsibility and authority. So top management also should ensure that the responsibilities are defined and communicated. So شغلة المانجيريال level يقول له لكل واحد this is your task, this is your responsibility. He's communicating the responsibility. And here it's very important to spread the culture of food safety among all the departments, and to make sure to involve every single department in the implementation of food safety. Okay, so management representative. So who is the management representative? So top management should appoint a member of management to be representative in all the QMS meeting. إن إحنا عنا شيء اسمه food safety team leader. بدنا نعرف إنه later on بالحسب رح نشوف إنه the food safety team leader, when the ISO committee will meet, of the food safety team will meet, the food safety team leader عنده more authority than the general manager. He is the leader when it comes to food safety. So usually managerial level بيكون عنده representative in this committee to make sure that the processes needed for QMS are being established, to report to the top management the performance and the improvement. يعني بيقولوا لهم للtop management هذا representative هو جاي من managerial level، قاعد مع quality manager, production, food safety، بيروح بيقول لهم إنه it's working properly, they are improving, but we are asked to provide 1, 2, 3. Okay, and ensure to promote the awareness of customer requirement throughout the organization. كمان the responsibility of the managerial representative is to do this link between the internal parties and the external parties. يعني بما انه هو represent the company، ممكن هو يروح على لبنان او ممكن يبعث ل food safety manager. It depends on his expertise. So internal communication, top management should ensure internal communication with all the departments. حكينا من شوي. So communication كيف يكونوا؟ Okay, so what is the role of the food safety team leader? Rihab, we will see later on in the coming lecture that when we want to implement a ISO 22000, the food safety team leader is the leader who will handle the implementation of ISO 22000 in the company. So her leader هو رح يعمل food safety team. The food safety team should be multidisciplinary, should be represented by all the departments and by the managerial level. من هيك عم بقول إنه managerial level بنقوا حدا usually بيكون GM بيكون بهذا التيم. Okay, to communicate better with the ممكن with the board. يعني ممكن تكون شركة عالمية بده يحكي مثلا مع international company برا. Okay, so the food safety team leader is the leader who will handle the implementation of ISO 22000 from A to Z. Okay, so how do they communicate the managerial level مع employees? What kind of communication we do have? أول communication مثل ما قلت لكم last time هي food safety policy and objectives. من هيك قلت لكم إنه the food safety policy should be posted everywhere. It's a kind of communication. Number two, communicating the accomplishments. يعني بيسوا إنه on a yearly basis they can do a ceremony where they show the accomplishment of the company. It's a communication because indirectly they will show them that this is your achievement, this is your accomplishment. It could be through an employee survey. They communicate بيعملوا survey على الemployee to get their feedback. Could be يعملوا newsletter okay internally أو team briefing أو management review اللي هو من الأشياء المهمة حنحكي عنها بعد شوي. So what is management review? Management review إنه the top management should review all what has been done last year, okay? To make sure of what? To make sure if the system is working properly, it is suitable, adequate, and effective. So, بيجتمعوا managers كلهم to make sure that what? They, on a yearly basis, they do this meeting to make sure that the system is suitable, is effective, and is adequate. طب كيف بدهم يعرفوا if the system is effective? Who can tell me? Who can tell me?
Checking customer feedback.
Checking customer feedback is very important. Checking customer feedback, no complaints. Bravo, Rana. Is that customer feedback is good? Is that no complaints? Internally or externally, يعني if I'm not receiving any kind of problem from the external market, from abroad, okay? If I'm كمان مرات بصير في competition مثلا بوزارة الصناعة product of the year, is that product تبعي was nominated to be the product of the year, كمان هيدا it's a plus. So هول كلهم they are hints to make sure that the system is working efficiently, okay? So if I'm having less correction and less true corrective actions, مزبوط? So if I'm having less corrective action, يعني I'm on the right track. But in this meeting, they will not only check the effectiveness of the system, they will also open a room for improvement. They will discuss opportunities for improvements. They will check if there is any need for changes or they need to update their quality policy or quality objectives or to include new products in the system or not. And أكيد بده يضل في records اللي هو the meeting minutes يعني اللي هو المحضر تبع الجلسة بضل لأنه بنستعمله بالnext year بنستعمل meeting minutes تبع هذيك السنة تنشوف نحن شو تطورنا. So هون رح نشوف إنه we have inputs يعني بنفوت على هالمانجمنت meeting review بinput وبنطلع boutput. أوكي. الانبوت يلي بنفوته معنا تنجتمع كتوب مانجمنت شو هو؟ أول شيء the results of audits internal or external audits. نحن ما قلنا إنه حيصير عنا نحن على طول internal audit و external audit. أول شيء بندخله معنا هو ال results of audits. Number 2 مثل ما قالت نهلة I think customer feedback. The customer feedback. Number 3 product conformity. يعني are we receiving any problems at the level of the product? وهون I don't mean the customer feedback. هون I mean إنه أنا on a daily basis I'm analyzing my product and I'm sending my product to laboratories. Am I facing any kind of non-conformities? لأنه بيسوى مرات إنه يطلع لي non-conformity وأنا أعمل destruction للproduct internally ما أبعته للcustomer. So that's an internal checking. So عندي شيء مشاكل فيه. Process performance يعني مرات ممكن يكون فوت معي على الميتينج إنه last year the pasteurizer okay many times has faced the problems of maintaining the temperature, so it's a process performance problem. يعني هون it will raise an eyebrow. Is it important to buy a new pasteurizer or to adjust it or to fix it or whatever? So status of preventive and corrective action وهذا اللي قلت لكم اياه انه the more we will see we have more corrective action that's alarming. يعني we had plenty of problems last year. اضطرينا كتير نعمل corrective actions بس if we have a few corrective actions and many preventive action it is a plus. So follow up action on the previous management reviews يعني هون فوت معي الميتينج minutes تبع هذيك السنة. changes that could affect the QMS يعني بيسوى يكون مثلا بدنا نسأل عنها food safety authority it's a new change or new standards that I need to to use, and recommendations for improvement. يعني we ask before the meeting, ahead of the meeting, we ask every single department to come up with recommendation for improvement. يعني تخيلوا كل هولي on a yearly basis the top management يعني المدراء كلهم بيجتمعوا مع البورد بفوتوا معهم كل هالدوكيومنتس تيطلعوا بشو؟ تيطلعوا بالاوتبوت يلي هو شو؟ The output of this review should include improvement of the effectiveness of the system, improvement of the product related to customer requirement, and improvement of resources to fulfill the need of all what was requested. Okay? هلا حأعملكم بول عشان صحصحكم شوي. حأسألكم سؤال. So خلينا نشوف شو بدنا نسألكم. So, in accordance with ISO 9001-2015, which of the following requires documented information to be retained by the organization? Second hide. In accordance with ISO 9001, which of the following requires documented information to be retained by the organization? A, evidence of competence. B, internal audit results. C, management review results. D, all of the above. So which one of the following activity should be documented? Evidence of competence, internal audit result, management review result, or all of the above? شو؟ رحاب، صفاء، يسرى، هوى، سلمى. يا صبايا وينكن؟ صبايا شكلهم راحوا يتغدوا. So, okay, I will repeat again. So, in accordance with ISO 9001, which of the following requires documented information to be retained by the organization? And which of the following need to be documented? Internal audit, evidence of competence, internal audit result, management review result, all of the above. دي كلهم اكيد كلهم يعني evidence of competence اكيد should be documented. يعني اذا موظف طلع كتير competent مش لازم اعمل له record اعمل له document. internal audit result مش لازم اعمل له documentation. والmanagement review output اكيد بدي اعمل له documentation. بعمل meeting minutes وكلهم بده يكونوا documented. طب حاسالكم سؤال ثاني. اوكي اوكي. A general procedure policy manual will include information on a general procedure policy manual will include information on. Okay, so هرجع عيد. A general lab procedure policy manual will include information on quality control results, A. B. Instrument maintenance. C. Calendar for ordering lab supplies. D. The overall policies for the laboratory with the emphasis on employee information. So هرجع عيد. A general lab procedure policy manual will include information on A. Quality control results. B. Instrument maintenance. C. Calendar for ordering lab supplies. D. The overall policies for the lab, including emphasis on employee information. Nahla C. Calendar for ordering lab supplies. It's a general policy manual. بس بدي يحكي عن الأوردر. It's D.
I thought it's like a checklist, you know, when to order
Yeah.
something.
لا it's a general procedure policy manual for a lab. شو بده يكون بقلبه؟ overall policies for the laboratory، يعني مش بس ordering lab supply، ما هو في بقلبه الاشياء الجنرال. هلا في يكون بقلبه ordering lab supplies it's a part، بس اكيد بقلبه البوليسيز الاكبر. اوكي حاسالكم شيء على job description. اوكي
دكتور يعني الجواب هو دي.
So
اوكي.
job description must specify your authority, your responsibility, your interrelationship with the others, or all of the choices.
Can you repeat please?
Okay. Job description must specify your authority, your responsibility, your interrelationship with the others, or all of the choices.
لا أكيد all. كلهم ال authority responsibility وال interaction.
كيف interaction و authority when you state your responsibilities you're already stating your level of authority.
responsibility وال interaction.
ما هي ال authority صارت شبه ال responsibility. when I'm responsible for subordinates then it's part of my authority. بس ال interactions حسيتها كتير vague. ما بعرف. I chose responsibilities.
I chose all.
وين اختفت الدكتور؟
ما بعرف. عم بقولوا راحت الكهرباء. لحظة نشوف. خلينا نحن هون.
هلا هي دكتور ترجع. بس ما بعرف كان the moderator come back to a moderator less.
على فكرة it's terrible. أنا ضليت من شي نص ساعة لفتحت على فكرة. والسلايدز ما عم بيبينوا.
Yeah, the doctor said يمكن before you came the doctor said that the slides are very slow so she's gonna follow up with us يعني audio wise and you follow up with your own lectures. But it's fine for me لأنه I'm in the dormitory with the dorms internet is fine بس أكيد إذا برجع على الجنوب الإنترنت is not so good.
لا هون الإنترنت منيح بس إنه الكهرباء لهلا ما أجت صار لها مقطوعة من الصبح من 9.
Should we leave لأنه it's still recording كل حكينا is being recorded.
بعرفني هسألها إذا منضل.
سريع.
ما فيها تكتب questions ما بعرف. ليان أنت عم تسمعينا؟ ليان وفرح. في عزة كمان رنا كتبي هلأ فات. أوكي ليان بعدها هون. أنا كنت عم جرب من التليفون ومن اللابتوب كمان.
Trying to reconnect. I need like 18 seconds, okay, to be online again. Okay, I will read the question again. بس يمشي الحال. Okay.
Share the voice. Okay.
أنا حأعمل mute.